How's it going, my YouTube brothers and sisters? It's your boy AKN back here again with another reaction video, and this time we back to the classic storytime animated videos. Oh my god, how much I have missed these. First, I want to give a quick shout out to Storytime Animated. Biggest lad ever. Or lads, I don't know. I emailed them asking, hey, do I have permission to react to your videos? And they said, sure, go right ahead. So shout out to them. I'm going to leave all their info down in the description down below, so go subscribe to them. So yo, let's just get started on this. This is one that I've been eyeing for the last few days that I've been wanting to watch with you guys. And it's called My Ex Was a Gold Digger, So I Had to Get Revenge. Classic revenge story. Oof. I don't know what to expect from this, but hey, it seemed interesting, and I'm like, you know what? Let's watch it with the community, the AKN community. Let's just watch it all together. So yo, without further ado, let's just start this right now. Also, quickly, if you haven't hit that like button or subscribe, what you doing? Just hit it quick. It takes less than half a second. That's all I'm asking. Yo, let's just start this right now. I'm excited. All right, let's watch this.
I got revenge on my gold-digging boyfriend.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes love can be the best thing that can ever happen to you.
Facts.
And sometimes, well, sometimes you meet a guy like Jeremy. Let me tell you about Jeremy.
Let's hear about Jeremy.
Let me tell you how I got revenge on him.
Let me put the volume up.
My gold-digging boyfriend. I grew up in a super wealthy family. This meant that I was certainly privileged.
Lucky.
And used to hang out with people who were as rich as my mom and dad. I got to enjoy long, fun vacations every few months, as well as incredible shopping sprees. I didn't get told no very often, and my parents sort of liked spoiling me.
See, now that ain't good. I'm sorry, y'all, if you say yes to your kids for everything, I don't have kids, but I'm saying that if you say yes to your kids' demands for everything, they're gonna grow up, not all the time, but they might grow up spoiled. Just saying, and then snotty and bratty and whatever. Anyways.
But I don't think I was a good-for-nothing brat.
Okay, good.
I studied really hard, and I wanted to find my own way in life. I saw how my parents worked and how passionate they were about their careers, and I want to be just like them. They grabbed the bull by the horns and made their own way in life. My mom came from money, but my dad was a self-made man, and they fell in love because of their mutual ambition. But before we move on, like this video, hit the subscribe button, and activate the notification bell.
Facts, do that to them, and hey, I mean, if you guys want, please do that to me. It'd be nice. I'd appreciate it.
Someone who could push me to be the best version of myself that I could be. Instead, I met Jeremy, and like a fool, I fell in love with him. Now, I told you I mostly hung out with people as rich as my family, but that wasn't because I was an elitist. It was just that the activities that I engaged in and the school that I went to weren't frequented by blue-colored families. It was normal to have friends who could afford similar luxuries as my family could. He was kind of a bore, so it didn't last long, but I don't regret that experience. He was kind towards me and really smart, so I liked him at first. But after a while, though, I realized that I was just going through the motions. I wanted someone who made me feel something real. Someone who made my heart beat faster whenever he kissed me. My second and third boyfriends were rich as well. For different reasons,
Yo, money doesn't make a good relationship.
No big deal. Some relationships go the distance, and others simply fun anecdotes. When I met Jeremy, though, I thought he was the one. His smile was so bright and
oh my gosh.
He made me laugh so hard.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Do you know how I met him? I went out for dinner with some friends, and he was our waiter. He was a bit of a flirt.
Oh, he's creepy.
My friends teased me about liking the guy serving our food, but I didn't see anything wrong with it. He wasn't rich, and that was okay with me. So when the night was over, I was sort of bummed out that I wouldn't be seeing him again. Much to my surprise, as my friends and I were leaving the restaurant,
yo, he's stalking you.
Someone walking right behind us. Excuse me, Jeremy told me when I turned around. I hope you don't think I'm a creep or anything like that, but I finished my shift in half an hour. Could I buy you a cup of coffee or something? I couldn't believe it.
Okay.
So
he handled that well.
I loved a guy being so forward.
That was good.
So after thinking it over for a moment, I finally said yes.
Hey.
My friends couldn't believe it. None of them, actually, not even myself, had ever dated a non-rich guy. And yet, I told them to go back home without me. I'd be staying at the restaurant, waiting for Jeremy to finish.
Are they holding hands already?
Our first date was amazing. I can't even explain it. We talked for hours, and he seemed like such a great guy. We shared our first kiss that night, and I felt my heart beating faster. Jeremy's...
I don't know if it's just because I'm old school, but like, isn't that a little too quick? I don't know. Maybe just, again, I wouldn't be doing it that quick. But hey, whatever makes him happy, I guess.
Seemed like the kind of guy who could give me everything.
Yo, she's so happy she jumped in.
I had no need for money, and I didn't want anyone to support me financially. I just wanted to meet my soulmate. And like a total fool, I thought Jeremy was it. He was a really nice guy.
After how long? Like a day?
He melt like warm butter. Now, Jeremy didn't come from a wealthy family. He'd been working since before he finished high school. When I asked him if he went to a college, he told me this big sob story about how he couldn't possibly afford it.
Oh.
I'd love to study and do something with my life, but I think I'll be a waiter my whole life. And that kills me, he said. And I felt so bad for him.
Yo, join the military.
Jeremy was a guy who had so much ambition, but life had just dealt him a bad hand. I was the means to help him and was determined to do it. I found myself.
Oh, don't tell me you gave her money.
Buying him new clothes, video games, and even a brand new TV.
Did you buy him a dress?
I was so grateful. And at first, he didn't ask me for anything. I was the one giving him stuff just because I liked to see him smile. But after a while, well, things began to change.
Uh-oh.
The requests were subtle at first, and he managed to make me think I was the one coming up with ideas for gifts to shower him with. I was so in love that I didn't even notice it. You know, he'd make these offhand remarks about needing this or that, or mentioning while watching a movie how cool something was. I would think it was nice to surprise him with whatever he had mentioned and actually believed him when he pretended to be surprised.
I know where this is going. Oh, and I've seen this happen to people too. Oh my god. Yo, don't let love blind y'all. I'm sorry, but if you like someone, don't be blinded to the point where you end up spending your bank account on them. Like, come on. My damn chair squeaking.
But after a while, he grew bolder. Jeremy thought I wouldn't notice, that I was too in love with him and had already bought his good guy act. Well, I gotta tell you, my mom and dad raised no dummy. So when he started actually asking directly for things, I became kind of suspicious. Sure, requesting a gift or two wasn't anything terrible, but the way he talked? It was almost as if I was supposed to give stuff to him merely because I had more than him. Like I owed him something.
Nah, it don't work like that.
When he asked me for a gift for his birthday, I didn't think much of it. It seemed normal even. Why
it's a
couldn't he
birthday.
choose what he was getting? It was a really special occasion after all. But then he wanted more and more, and I got sort of annoyed. But it was far from over. We had our anniversary, and Jeremy asked me if I saw our relationship going the distance. I said yes, that I loved him dearly, and I'd love to build a future together. The key word there was together.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be the only one building something, you know? But that was exactly what he seemed to
preach.
hear. Suddenly, he claimed that he had been fired. But I didn't really believe him. It seemed kind of odd since the restaurant he worked in always was so busy, and he was a good server. Something told me that he had just up and quit, figuring I'd be supporting him from then on.
Oh, what a loser.
Around his little finger.
Oh my gosh.
I was patient with him at first. I figured I might be overly suspicious, but remained alert to the signs. I noticed that the stuff I bought him suddenly went missing, and I decided to do some research.
Oh, he was selling them, wasn't he?
I found them in a nearby pawn shop.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't even bother traveling a bit to actually sell my gifts. Imagine how mad I was.
What an idiot.
I confronted him and threatened to leave him. Jeremy begged me not to.
What you mean threaten to leave him? Just leave him. Look. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. What an idiot.
He looked so heartbroken and sad. I actually thought that maybe, just maybe, I'd managed to reach him. He was going to change and get a job and we'd have a future together. Yeah, right. As if that was going to happen.
Oh my gosh.
Now, come on. Those kind of miracles don't happen in real life.
They do,
I decided to give him a second chance, but I was on him like a hawk. Jeremy pretended to be a changed man for like a month or two, and then he figured that I had really forgiven him, and that was when the BS started all over
Here we
again.
go.
Now this is when I got petty. I know I could have dumped him and be done with Jeremy, but it didn't seem fair. He had tried to use me and take advantage of my trust. Why should he get off easy? I'd been paying for his utilities, and he even had an extension of my credit card for emergencies.
What?
Yeah, you guessed it right. He totally used it for things that no one would consider an emergency at all. I decided to shut off all utilities in his apartment, or should I say my apartment, because, yeah, I was paying the rent. I also destroyed his laptop while he was out on a guys' night with his friends, and cut up the credit cards that I gave him, as well as his own. He was going to have to request them all again. I donated all his clothes so that at least he...
But wait, isn't he gonna be suspicious that like, hey, yo, why is my laptop all smashed up? I guess that's not suspicious, I'll just ask my girlfriend for another. I would be like, yo, who the hell came into my house and broke my stuff? Like, oh, and I'm sorry, y'all, she is dumb for letting him use her credit card. I'm sorry. Yo, finances, it's not something you're supposed to be messing with. I'm sorry. I don't care how long. I mean, unless you're married, then that's different. But I mean, like, you just been dating some guy who's been clearly using you, and you're like, yeah, yo, here's my credit card. She's in the wrong too. I'm sorry.
He'd be useful to society one time in his entire life. Sure, I didn't do this all at once, mind you. I saved the most obvious stuff for last. All the smallest and pettiest things I did to him while pretending not to know what he was talking about. He asked me to help fix his laptop, and I told him I was too busy with work to do anything about it.
Whoa.
Jeremy didn't understand why his utilities were cut off, and when he called to discover what was going on, he was told that they couldn't give him any information. After all, everything was on my name. Eventually, he finally caught up with what I was doing. I happily told him that he had it coming, and he shouldn't use people for their money.
Facts.
He was stunned and tried to pretend that he didn't love me because I was rich. Babe, you're my entire life, he cried out. But I wasn't going to be giving him another chance.
Just leave him.
You know the saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. He begged and pleaded, but I was done with him.
Yo, if he gets violent...
Since that moment, his life went absolutely downhill. Jeremy had gotten too used to not working and just doing nothing all day.
Oh, is he smoking? Ew.
So he didn't do well on any of the lame jobs that he tried to get. Last I heard of him, he was living at a friend's house and was already overstaying his welcome. He keeps asking me to borrow some money to get back on his feet on Facebook, but I never reply. You might think I was way too mean, but I have no regrets. I gave him a chance to change his ways or move on, and he decides to try and manipulate me.
It's true.
I don't appreciate a guy playing with my feelings just to get a free ride. I hope that Jeremy learned his lesson and doesn't try to gold dig his way into another apartment. But honestly, I think he's too foolish for his own good. He's still super cute.
See, how I look at it is, you know, they always say forgive and forget, which I truly do believe. Forgive everyone who's wronged you, like, because there's no point of holding on to anything. You're just gonna marinate in there, and it's just gonna end up feeling worse in the long run. You know what I mean? So it's better to forgive. When they say forget, though, don't forget in the sake of how do I word this? Forget as in don't hold on to that anger anymore, but don't forget as in remember so you don't get screwed like that next time from someone else. You know what I mean? Truly forgive the person, but don't ever forget what happened, because you don't want that to happen again one day. You know what I mean? That's how I look at things in life. But let's get back to this.
And that can get a girl like me to fall for him for a year or two. But then he'll be right back to square one, and his good looks aren't going to last forever.
Facts.
Thanks for watching. What's the worst revenge you've taken against someone who wronged you?
Damn.
Let us know in the comments. Do you think I went too far with what I did to Jeremy?
Maybe. You should have just dumped him right from the
Please
beginning.
don't forget to subscribe and check out other videos on the channel.
There's still another... Oh, there's a bonus story.
I know.
Bonus story? Alright, blessed. Yeah, I was wondering why this was like almost 20 minutes. Yo, let's watch this.
It sounds bad. It's not a nice thing to do, baby trapping a boyfriend into staying in your life. But that's exactly
Wait,
what I did. My name is Amelia, and I'd like to let you know how I came to do something so drastic. I hope that once you know my side of the story, you won't still think I'm some kind of monster.
Okay.
Hey, but you brought a baby in this world to you baby trap someone. I'm sorry, but I don't even know if there's any good reasons for that, but yeah, we'll see.
Ever since I was a young girl, I've always wanted to be a mom. I would play with my dolls all the time and pretend they were all my daughters.
Scariest looking dolls ever.
You see, I was my parents' only child, and they refused to give me any brothers or sisters. I pled and pled, but it was no good. They were determined. But before we move on, like this video, hit that subscribe button,
Facts,
and
go like
activate
it.
the notification bell. This will let you live 20 amazing years longer. Trust me, it worked.
Like and subscribe my video 30 years longer.
They said they only needed a single daughter, and they loved me so much. Why expand our family any further? Plus, Mom and Dad didn't have any siblings either, so I didn't even have any cousins to play with. All my friends from school had big, happy families. When I arrived home, I only had my parents to keep me company, and they were frequently too busy to pay me any attention. So I grew up being a really lonesome child. I did have friends at school, but that just wasn't enough for me. Something was missing. My toys and dolls became my children, and my family suddenly expanded. It wasn't real, but it was something. Mom used to say
That's
that
so
I
sad.
had an overactive imagination and that I would overcome my obsession with large families eventually. But I never did. Every single time I met someone new, I asked about their siblings and got super jealous if they had any.
See, that's sad because, I mean, I grew up with an older sister, so I never actually felt like this, but I can only imagine someone being an only sibling, or only child, I should say, and just not having someone to talk to on the regular other than your parents. And if you have your parents, okay, blessed, but if they're busy all the time like hers, like, I can only imagine how much that sucks and how lonely you get. Like, that'd mess up a kid. I'm sorry, like, that's sad.
I wanted to know everything about how that felt like, and perhaps I might have made a few people a bit uncomfortable with my questions.
Yo, that
now,
kid's
I'm not
face.
saying I'm some kind of crazy cat lady, but with siblings and children instead. I want to have just 3 or 4 kids, nothing else. It's not like I want 12 babies crawling around my house.
From
still,
the way you
it's
are, I
something
feel like
that
you probably
clearly
will.
marked my childhood, and I couldn't imagine growing up into an adult and continuing feeling so alone. So when I met the guy who'd become my boyfriend, Kyle, I wasn't too sure he was the right guy for me.
Here we go.
After all, we were both kind of young, and teenage boys don't usually know if they want a big happy family or just have a nice time. When Kyle asked me out, I said, not at first. He kept insisting though, telling me he had fallen for me at first sight, and that I was the girl for him. He romanced me, and bit by bit, I began falling in love as well. So eventually, we began dating.
Okay.
And soon enough, it was official. We were boyfriend and girlfriend, and even made plans to go to the same college after we graduated.
All right, that's
I told
cute.
Kyle how
That's
important
cute.
the idea of having a baby soon after I began college was. And at the time...
Wait. Having a baby as soon after you started college? Y'all not gonna wait till after you're done? I mean, that's just me. I'm not trying to raise a kid while I'm studying and struggling to get through these 4 years of just academic hell. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me, but damn.
He agreed with me. I don't really think that he was lying. After all, he did seem to like children. But it was more that he figured there was more time to grow up in that way. He probably thought that I was just fantasizing, but that I wouldn't really demand to have a baby right out of high school. Well,
yeah.
That's where Kyle was wrong. After being accepted into the same college, Kyle and I moved into an apartment close to the campus. It was comfortable and lovely, and we could study a whole lot there. Or at least, that was the intention. Because Kyle suddenly seemed to realize how fun parties could be when he wasn't under his parents' thumbs. Oh boy,
no.
That was when things started to get messy. I've always been super responsible and love that Kyle enjoyed studying as much as I did. He was a straight A student back in high school, and I figured that wouldn't change when he entered college.
Yo, people change.
But suddenly, he seemed to be more interested in going out drinking and dancing than waking up early for an exam.
Oh my gosh, like I missed an exam. What an idiot. Oh my god. I mean, yo, let's be real. High school compared to college, totally different. Totally different ballpark, and it's so much more fun in college than in high school. So of course, the straight A student who is living under his parents in high school, who probably didn't go out much, is now just completely like 180'd, and now he's going out and missing exams and stuff now that he has freedom. I don't know, that's how I look at it. But like, you missed an exam, fool. Like, what's wrong with you? Oh my god.
I was
my anxiety
about him. But that was far from the most shocking realization. When I told him that one of the couples we knew back from high school were expecting their first son, he shivered and told me, oh man, they're ruining their lives. They should have waited at least 5 years before doing anything like that. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
I mean, that's how I kind of look at
Kyle
it, yeah.
loud and clear before we even moved together that I wanted a child of my own, soon. When I reminded him
just
of that
wait,
fact,
damn.
he just laughed and brushed me off. Surely I wasn't serious, right? He asked. But I was. And so the constant arguments and bickering began. We used to get along so well, but from the moment that I realized he didn't want children yet, well, everything became a big mess.
Bam, keyword yet. This guy wants kids, just not yet, because he's trying to do school and stuff. I mean, he's completely just failing at school right now, but yo, give the dude some time. Damn.
I kept begging him to go through with what he had promised me. Kyle told me he would. He absolutely wanted to have kids with me.
Yo,
just
blessed.
not yet. Maybe
Exactly.
after we graduated. Most
Exactly.
likely after we both had gotten great jobs.
Fam, this guy, Great head on his shoulder. Oh my gosh, exactly. Y'all gotta be fine. Oh my god, yeah. This is turning into like a lecture from AKN here. Any of you kids out there watching, if y'all are in the exact same mindset as her, I mean, unless you're really financially set, then maybe. But fam, get a job, finish college, you know, work for like 3-4 years, make bank, make tons of money, you and your significant other, then boom, have as many babies as you want because y'all are set. You know what I mean? Like, y'all are prepared. I don't know. This pisses me off.
Couldn't possibly wait that long. I needed a child right that instant, and it wasn't fair that other couples we knew were getting pregnant. I had to wait.
I don't like her.
Super patient all throughout high school. I knew I was too young back then, but now it was the right time, and I didn't want my boyfriend to be the person stopping me from fulfilling my dreams. His excuse was that we needed to wait in order to have enough time to study hard and graduate with honors. But I know that was a lie, and so do you, because I told you how Kyle was out partying all the time.
Let him live his life. He's like, what, 18? 19? He's not trying to have a kid this early.
What he didn't want was to lose the chance to be super irresponsible and go out drinking every single night.
Alright, don't be irresponsible, but
like,
like,
be a burden to him.
You know.
I could hear it in his voice, even if he didn't actually utter those words. It was so frustrating, and I couldn't comprehend why he was acting that way. Kyle had always been so sweet and considerate toward my needs. He had also been such an amazing student. Why was he changing all of a sudden? Something else began to bother me during these hard months.
Here we go.
He used to be kind of shy back when we were in high school, but now he had become somewhat of a social butterfly. This scared me because he suddenly had so many friends who were girls. He tried to reassure me, telling me they were just friends, and he didn't think any of them were hot or...
Trust is the foundation of a good relationship, y'all. Just saying. Just because he's got a lot of girlfriends, not girlfriends, don't mean he's cheating, you know what I mean? You gotta trust. But, again, keep your eyes open because you never know.
Anything like that. Kyle would always say, "I love you and only you, babe. Stop being so jealous." I'd never cheat on the love of my life.
I gotta sneeze.
And that
Ugh. Thank you. I don't have corona, I swear.
That sounded so sweet, sure, but something sounded kind of fake about it.
Oh god, I gotta sneeze again.
I knew that he loved me. I doubt this act, because I saw it in his eyes and in the way he kissed me.
Thank you.
But college and partying was changing my Kyle. And what would happen if one night, drunk, he ended up messing up with a girl? Then I'd lose him forever, and I couldn't
Then
allow
he's garbage.
it to happen.
I gotta sneeze again.
That's when that idea came to mind.
Ugh. Thank you. Am I dying?
The solution to both my problems. Yeah, I know, it's messed up and all, but at least it would give our relationship a spark. I knew he wanted
trash,
me to
lady.
because he had told me so. Kyle was just scared and too mesmerized by the fun parties to remember who he really was inside. After
He
a
don't want a
particularly
kid.
nasty argument, Kyle left and didn't return that night. He later claimed he had just slept over at one of his friend's dorms. A man, of course, he reassured me. Kyle told me he had just needed some time away from me. That was when I knew there was no more time to lose.
Oh my gosh.
If I didn't tie him down right then and there, he'd end up drifting away from me, and I'd lose the love of my life and the man I knew would become the father of my babies. I knew there was no way to convince him to be intimate without using any protection, so I had to be sneaky about it.
Is she gonna poke holes?
I got into his drawer and poked a hole in all his little packages.
Oh
Believe
my
me when I
gosh.
say that I was all over him those next few weeks, just to make sure the plan worked. And wouldn't you believe it, my period was late the following month.
Oh my gosh.
When I took a pregnancy test, it was
Isn't that illegal? Like, I don't know. Any law buffs up there? Can y'all tell me? Isn't that illegal? I don't know.
positive. I was so excited, so happy. It was the best day of my life. I rushed into the bedroom with a test in my hands and told him the great news. Well, that's when things got bad. Kyle wasn't happy. He was shocked and looked terrified. I tried to calm him down, telling him everything was going to be all right, that we could finally be this big, happy family.
Yeah, you're evil.
But he looked pale and weak. He couldn't even seem to speak. He didn't understand how it could possibly have happened. I couldn't tell him what I'd done, but that didn't matter. I explained to him that I was keeping my baby.
I'm speechless right now, yo. Like that is grimy beyond anything. Like that is just low. Oh my gosh.
Our baby. And that he needed to buckle down and stop partying right away. He had to make sure everything was okay in our lives when the baby arrived. Oh, believe me, that was when he freaked out for real. He refused to do anything of the sort, and we began arguing. He kept telling me he didn't want to be a father and that I needed to solve this problem. I told him I was going to keep our child no matter what. Suddenly, Kyle turned around and stormed away from me.
Uh-oh.
I tried to get him to stay, but he just got in his car and drove off. I was devastated. Honestly, I thought that my boyfriend would step up to the plate and be responsible.
Fam, you did that to him. Oh my gosh, this girl is garbage. I'm sorry. And if anyone's offended out there, like no, she's actual trash for doing that. That's evil.
For his new family, but instead he simply ran away.
Same time too, you bringing a baby into the world that you're not even prepared to take care of. You know what I mean? Like that's just bad for the kid too. I
went back into my apartment, asking myself how I'd take care of a baby all on my own, and what my family would say.
Yo, that's what you
that
get.
Night, I couldn't sleep at all. I tossed and turned in bed, asking myself if Kyle was really going to abandon me and the baby.
I wouldn't be surprised if he
I was
did.
so worried and couldn't stop crying. I began to wonder if my plan had backfired.
Yeah.
And would I have to face the music all on my own? The next morning, though, I heard someone walking into the apartment I shared with my boyfriend. It was Kyle, looking guilty and exhausted. I walked up to him and he hugged me so tightly and kissed me like he hadn't seen me in years. Kyle apologized for his reaction and explained that he just freaked out. He had talked to his parents during the night and realized that he needed to man up and take responsibility for his baby. I was so happy. I forgave him.
I mean, at the same time, it's his fault too. Regardless if you have a condom on, he shouldn't have been, doing the finishing part inside. Regardless if he was wearing one. So I mean, it is his fault too. But both of them are dumb. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
Immediately, of course, and things seemed to go back to normal. Kyle really matured through my pregnancy and went back to being a great student. He asked me to marry him soon after, and we were husband and wife by the time our baby girl, Tilda, arrived into our lives.
Did you tell him what you did, though?
We couldn't be happier. See? Everything turned out for the better. I baby-trapped my boyfriend, but I did it with only the best of intentions.
Nah.
Thanks for watching. Do you think the end sometimes justifies the means? Have you ever done anything sort of messed up to make sure your partner didn't make a bad decision?
I don't know. I'm done watching this. I'm gonna get pissed off again. But again, yo, subscribe to Storytime Animated. They are hype. Wow, I don't know what to say. that story. Don't get me wrong. Those stories were amazing. They were awesome. But that last one, that just put me in a bad place. Like, I don't know, nothing gets me more mad than stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just people doing stuff in the background to get things their way. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of rambling. Relationships should not be built off deceit and all that. You know what I mean? Like that's my last words I'm gonna say. But a hype story, both of them. Yo, again, shout out to Storytime Animated. They honestly are amazing. Check out their channel, again, all in the description down below. Yo, leave it down in the comments what videos you want me to react to, what games. Again, I'm gonna be streaming Jedi Fallen Order probably tonight, so keep an eye out for that. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next video very soon, and peace.